first given this commission, I thought I was going to design a building, but as I worked on the project, I realized that it was not a building, it was actually a space. It's a space because it's actually the symbol of the values of Bhutan. It's a public domain where the people of Bhutan come to celebrate their festivals, to watch their king coronated, and to participate in rituals of the nation. We are here in the National Ceremonial Plaza in Thimphu. This is a structure built by local craftsmen, completely with local materials. I don't think any material comes from more than 50 kilometers maximum away. This dolomite stone is a very local material. It's very roughly cut because it's a crystalline stone. If you try to cut it very sharply, it will shatter. A major feature of Bhutanese architecture is the wood column. These wood columns will be found in royal pavilions, in palaces, in temples, and all kinds of structures. Now, when I gave drawings to the carpenters, who've come from villages nearby down to the valley to work with us, they look at my drawings and then they put the drawing aside and they start at the bottom and they mark the wood. And then they start working from their memory and they work up to the top. They do this lovely filigree work, and then they do these very typical kind of flying capitals which you find all over Bhutan. Then we had to wrap the wood because we have a blue pine which tends to crack. The pine wood here tends to crack very easily in the dampness and the dryness. So we put a locally woven canvas around the whole structure with a local glue. Then, with mineral paints, we painted all these details onto the structure. And this is a very typical characteristic of all the architecture of Bhutan, which we brought into this plaza.
Here in the capital, we have the National Ceremonial Plaza. It is within this mask dance festival is held. It is also in this plaza that the most important government ceremonies, public ceremonies, cultural activities are held each year. And it is through these celebrations, through these ceremonies, that the Bhutanese culture, traditions and customs are kept alive. It is during these festivals that we are able to bond families, bond community. Now here in Thimphu, the National Ceremonial Plaza, we have been experiencing considerable difficulties over the years. In that, with a growing population, the plaza has been literally shrinking. We have looked for solutions, and one of them was to take the festivals and the ceremonies out into the national stadium. We did that once, but it did not work. For the reason that ceremonies, important cultural ceremony, without the backdrop, without the ambience of the zone, it loses its character. And so we looked for a solution, and that is when Christopher Charles Benninger Architects came to our rescue. We talked about it, and the solution we found was to build the National Plaza, a new National Ceremonial Plaza outside the zone, to the north of the zone, which in fact was the forgotten side of the zone. It was the ugly side of the zone. Our architects have taken into account the sensitivities of the Bhutanese government in terms of ensuring that there is absolute blending. And what we have in this new ceremonial plaza is a perfect blend between tradition and modernity, between modern technology and traditional craftsmanship, between functionality and aesthetics of Bhutanese art, architecture. And we have, as a result, added to the beauty of this national heritage of Tashi Chuzong, which literally means the palace of spiritual fruition. As a result, we are now able to ensure that a large number of the growing population in Thimphu will be able to participate in the political, ceremonial and festivals that will take place in these grounds.